Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal.
Well, after a relative quiet on the debate front, all of a sudden, apparently Joe Biden and failed former President Donald Trump will be having 2 debates. Joe Biden challenging Trump to debates in a video released on Twitter, combined with apparently some kind of further communication with specific date proposals, and Donald Trump seemingly accepting it on Truth Social. Now, we'll talk about who stands to gain the most and who stands to lose the most from debate. But I'll tell you, even though I think the format of these debates does not really lend itself to deep policy discussion, I would still prefer debates to no debates. And we'll talk about that in a moment as well. President Joe Biden putting out the following video and saying to Donald Trump, let's just do it. Let's stop pretending that you want to and I don't and whatever. Let's just do it.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Free on Wednesdays, of course, because Donald Trump is embroiled in a criminal trial Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And they have Wednesday off, a day that Donald Trump plays a lot of golf, apparently. So what do we have here? We have Donald Trump apparently accepting this. Trump taking to his platform Truth Social. Oh boy, I messed up the timing.
Truth Social.
There it is. And saying, quote, "Crooked Joe Biden is the worst debater I have ever faced. He can't put 2 sentences together. Crooked is also the worst president in the history of the United States by far. It's time for a debate so that he can explain to the American people his highly destructive open border policy, new and ridiculous electric vehicle mandates, the allowance of crushing inflation, high taxes, and his really weak foreign policy, which is allowing the world to catch on fire. I am ready and willing, that's willing with a capital W, to debate Crooked Joe at the 2 proposed times in June and September. I would strongly recommend more than 2 debates, and for excitement purposes, a very large venue. Although Biden is supposedly afraid of crowds, that's only because he doesn't get them. Just tell me when, I'll be there. Quote, let's get ready to capital R rumble. 3 exclamation points. Oh boy, there's exclamation points all over this thing. So, CNN reporting, Biden challenges Trump to 2 debates under special conditions, Republican accepts. Now, of course, the special conditions aren't that special. It's that the Nonpartisan Commission on Presidential Debates organized them, which is what Trump has been trying to resist for a while now, arguing, oh, they're so unfair. Everybody's biased against me. It's just all terrible. But we apparently are going to be getting 2 debates, late June, at least presumably after the current Trump criminal trial concludes and before any other criminal trial will start based on what we know right now, and before the conventions. And then, of course, in September, very, very close to the election. So who benefits more from debate? There's a couple different things going on here. First of all, the setting of very low expectations for Joe Biden has happened before, and I believe it has helped Joe Biden. In other words, Trump for years now, and this goes back to 2020, has been setting the expectations that Biden essentially doesn't know what's going on and won't be able to speak and has no clue. And then Biden shows up and he does fine. They're not mind-blowing debates. He's not the prototype of vigor and effervescence. Biden isn't, but he does fine. The expectations were set very low when Biden debated Bernie Sanders in 2020, and he did fine. And the expectations were low when Biden debated Trump in 2020, and it was fine. So in that sense, Biden potentially benefits from people going in thinking Biden might soil himself, and then Biden does completely fine. So that helps Joe Biden. Now, there's another aspect to this, which has to do with, do debates convince people, or are they essentially viewers tuning in to see whoever is their candidate hopefully do well, and debate doesn't really have the potential to change minds? I think it mostly doesn't have the potential to change minds, particularly when we're talking about late June and September. However, there's an asymmetrical downside risk. If you show up and do fine, you probably retain your base, but probably not really gain too much. If you show up and do terribly, you do risk alienating and losing a portion of the people that went in thinking they were going to support you. So that risk applies to both Biden and Trump. If either has a disastrous performance, it could be a problem. Based on what the mental health professionals we've been speaking with say, Trump's cognitive deterioration seems to be accelerating. And a month from now, several months from now in September, it could potentially be worse. So there is definitely risk to both. I want to see debate, although I don't think we're going to learn too much policy-wise. We will get a sense, at least in theory, for how the two candidates would handle high-pressure situations with global leaders. I've had such trouble finding a great razor where I am not cutting myself or getting those nicks on my skin, which are so common with the cheap disposable razors. You have to meet our sponsor, Henson Shaving. Henson actually manufactures parts for the International Space Station and the Mars rover, and they are bringing that exact same precision engineering to the shaving experience. It hurts when you shave because blades extend too far and thus they wobble slightly. But with their aerospace grade CNC machines, Henson is able to make metal razors that extend just 0.0013 inches. That's less than the thickness of a human hair, which means a secure, stable blade with a vibration-free shave. It also has built-in channels to evacuate the hair and the cream. No more clogs, no more rubbing your thumb on the razor to get the hair out. I use Henson at home. Shaving is a great experience now. Henson wants to be the best razor, not the best razor business, which means you only need to buy it once and it's awesome. Go to hensonshaving.com/Pacman, add a razor and a 100-pack of blades to your cart, then enter the code Pacman to get the 100 blades for free. That is a 3-year supply. The link is down below.